I am that I am, Saint Germain in service, and I welcome you here tonight. This is a special night, for there is a great influx of energy currently being brought to the planet. It is being assisted by the archangels. A new portal and gateway has been opened, and many of you will be feeling unsettled by this as it is flooding your energy body with light, with a higher vibration, which is shaking clear all that energy that does not serve you, all that energy which holds you back, which you cling to, that you see as something that is you, that is a part of you, but is not you. This is all being shaken clear now. But we ask you in this time of uncertainty and upheaval and emotions not to cling to what comes up, be they memories, be they thoughts about people or situations. Just let them be. Do not cling to them. Let them arise and then fall away at their own pace. There is no need to process. There is no need to worry or consider that possibly you might be doing something wrong. For there are many in the new age who feel that if they are having negative emotions, that this means that they are not on the right spiritual path. This is not so. It is all the same. Every emotion, every single last one, from anger to love, is all the same in the eyes of spirit. So let that go and no more processing. Just let it flow away. You do not need to hold it in the mind. You do not need to question it. Let it be, and it will leave you in its own time. Now this leads me to the topic of this evening, which is about the law of attraction. And this law of attraction is very much linked in with the mind. And as I have discussed previously, the humans place too much emphasis upon the power or the supposed power of the mind. You are not your mind. You are the consciousness behind the mind. It is time to really feel into that, to witness that, to breathe into that. For you are the witness. You are the witness experiencing. The law of attraction would have you believe that it is through your mind that you create, that it is through your mind that you bring certain situations or physical possessions to you. But this is not the case. The mind, as I have mentioned before, particularly with the new energies coming to Earth, is an outdated computer. It is merely there to receive input, to protect the body and the soul, to calculate the best possible action based on possible futures. But by giving away your power to the mind, that in itself can create anxiety, can create depression. For if you are too far forward in the future, as the mind often likes to project in a bid to create the best possible outcome for you, it gets caught up in potentials that are not happening now. So I ask you to bring yourself back to the now, to step back from the mind. For the mind will also take you to the past, and that is no longer. So it will bring forth all manner of things which you may have experienced which say that you can't, or you can. But this does not serve you, because right here, right now in the present is where you create. Right here. And there is no need to push. There is no need for effort. For you simply are. You yourself are creation. You hold the seeds of potential as your very being. And that is what lies behind the mind. So to project through the mind your desires is to project through a sticky and tangled web. For the mind not only cannot comprehend the vastness of existence, it is jaded, it carries conditioned patterns, it carries thoughts about how things should and ought to be done, although that is just another layer of conditioned patterning. For who is to say that to create the life you want, you must take these steps, X to Y to Z? It makes no sense in spirit. For in the vastness of your potential, there are no steps. It is now, and it's all that will ever be. So take a step back, away from the mind. For it is the mind in many cases that will block you from creating the life that you desire. And much of that life that you desire has been created by the mind. Humans have a tendency to get caught up in a number of thoughts that they feel come together as what will bring happiness, as what will bring fulfillment. If I buy a house, if I live in a certain area, if I wear a certain clothes, if I eat certain food, if I mingle with the right people, I chant the right mantras, I do the right meditations, then this creates the life that is going to bring me fulfillment. Now, I'm not saying that that is the recipe you are all creating, but what I am trying to highlight is that you are grasping outwards. Everything that will bring you happiness and fulfillment is within you. You must align yourself with the I am. I am that I am. And that is all. You exist. And in the realization of your existence, can you be in the flow of any potential of the universe, the multiverses, any dimension. But the mind is so limited. It can only create a small portion of the vastness of the all. So no more projecting your mind outwards, no more trying to control the mind, for that is also futile. Controlling the mind never works, for it starts off as a trickle of water, and then that trickle starts to grows into a stream. The stream becomes a river, and before you realize it, you're trying to hold back the ocean. Allow the mind to be what it is. It is not an enemy. But what I am saying is to not give your power over to the mind, for you are the power behind the mind. Come back to that, your still center. When you desire something, ask yourself, am I trying to fulfill a need? Am I trying to create happiness through this desire? If the answer is yes, then come back to the I am. Because it is here that you will realize you already have your peace, your fulfillment, everything that you need. And through letting go of your desires, will you actually start to manifest and create something that is beautiful for you, something that perhaps your mind had not even thought of, a life worth living for your soul. Remember that. Do not limit yourselves, for that is what you do through projection into the future, projection into the past, and giving your power over to your thoughts. And none of this, you can choose your thoughts. Crap, I'm going to call it crap. Yes, you can choose your thoughts, but through massive control of the mind. Massive. You don't need to do it. Step away from it. When you are in the essence of you, your God spark, you are God, then it will all flow from there. The beautiful thoughts will manifest on themselves. If you have a bad thought, or bad thought as you humans like to put it, then let yourself have the bad thought. Do not feel that a day full of good thoughts is what is ultimately going to bring you a good day, because it won't. If you fight against the flow, if you fight against what is, then you are setting yourself up for a day you are not going to enjoy. So when you get caught up in the storm of your mind, do not try to force your thoughts to change. Just step out of the mind. Go beyond it, because it's not you. It is there to serve you. It does not have the power. It is the computer, and you are the operator. Are there any questions regarding this? I will go on. In order to step out of the mind, in order to go beyond, is quite simple, and yet difficult in many circumstances. But I will give you a point upon which you can practice in order to start disentangling yourself. And you'll find that once you start to disentangle yourself from your mind, you'll also start to disentangle yourself from many of the collective unconscious webs that make up this planet. The webs of your family, the cities you live in, your workplace, the countries you reside in, your friendship circles. you will disentangle yourself from these. And that is to simply sit back and witness without judgment, without trying to analyze, without putting any kind of label on anything. Simply observe your thoughts. And the further you go into this, the more you will realize that you are simply that which is beyond. And you will step out of the pain that is often caused through the mind, ironically trying to stop you from feeling pain in the first instance. I'm going to let this settle with you. As there is a lot of energy in the room, your higher selves are allowing you to receive the unspoken energy of your soul, that sacredness that is you. Allow it to be. Allow yourself to be. For you are all okay. You truly are. There is nothing to worry about. There is nothing to be concerned of. Even in the state of this planet, she is okay. She will regenerate. She will come again, as will many of the souls who reside here. Earth and her children are shedding their skins, being reborn anew. And when one clings, it is not without pain. But that is okay. It is okay to feel pain. Do know ultimately, beyond this reality, there is no pain. And if you connect into your still center, you will see that it is all perfect. It is all divine. And through this, a great compassion will arise for yourself and for others. This is what is occurring right now. The planet is learning compassion. You can already see it. But compassion must first start with the individual. Compassion must first be extended to yourself before you can fully extend it to others. That is the same for love. For what you feel deeply for yourself, you can feel for another being. For we are all one. So to show yourself mercy, to show yourself compassion, to show yourself love, to not judge yourself, will have its flow-on effects to every other being within your sphere. For energetically, they learn, they pick up on that. Ultimately, they are you, and you are they. So although I know that there are those of you who are sitting here now who look at the world's problems and feel despair. Do not, for all is well, and all shall be well, and it is always well. In the divinity of all that is, everything is in divine perfect order. No soul dies. We are all on a grand cosmic journey together. In the seat of creation, bring some lightness. Allow yourselves to have fun, for you are the grand creators, and you have the power to bring forth anything you choose. But I do add that in choosing, there is discernment between fulfilling that need, as I spoke of earlier, and the pure joy of just creating. For it is your divine right to create in the flow of all that is. Feel into that. The purpose of creation is for experience. Experience is a beautiful thing. Humans tend to forget that. They feel that they must fulfill goals and duties and reach certain milestones. You don't. That's all human-made concepts. Existence is your divine right to be, to just simply be. And when you grant yourself that, it will just come forth from you. It will flow without struggle, without effort. It will all burst forth in front of you. And in the divine flow of expression, you will know the joy of existence. Breathe into it. To be completely present in the now is a divine gift. The new energies will not hold those who wish to live in the denser energies of the Piscean age, which saw us having to use physical objects to manifest. And I speak of the occult. It will not be necessary. You can put down your crystals, you can put down your books, you can put down whatever little trinkets you hold dear to yourself that you feel you need to give you the energy to create or feel certain things, and just know that it is all there within you. It is all right there. You don't need any of it, for it is you. They are physical manifestations of you. Remember that the next time the mind tells you you need this physical thing in order to help you on your spiritual path. It is all spiritual. It is all spirit. All of it. Nothing makes one thing spiritual and another except a thought. step out of those now. Are there any questions?
Silly now, but I had prepared it before.
There's no silly questions.
Could you talk about soulmates?
There's a lot of ideas and theories and talk amongst humans about the concept of a soulmate. Much of what humans consider to be a soulmate is simply one who has walked the incarnation path with you through many, many, many cycles. There is history there. There is, I guess you can say, conditioned patternings that souls will fall into quite easily, particularly if they have manifested a life together many times on the planet. Sometimes this can be positive, other times not so positive. And particularly with the planets as they are now, and as the energies coming to Earth are shaking everyone up to break those old conditioned patterns. Many people who have incarnated together for lifetimes are now breaking that cycle. They realize that it has become an unconscious relationship, that it no longer serves the divinity of each individual soul. And there is a tug and there is a pull, because on an energetic level, those nets, those cords have been set over a very long time. They can be hard to break, but ultimately the individual soul knows when it is time to break such cords. Now others enter into relationships with souls that they have incarnated with for many cycles, and it is a positive one, as they are assisting each other in their own existence, evolution. They have become divine partners of creation and expression. Unfortunately, though, this is rare on the planet. And then that brings me to another concept of soulmates, the twin flame. And the twin flame is a soul that has, as it has come to Earth, split into the male and female polarities. And when these energies come together, there is a strong pull. There is a strong energetic magnetization that brings these souls together, for there is a recognition of themselves in the other. This can also be likened to magnets, though, in that the different sides, the positive and the negative, when they repel also. for they must be of the same vibrational match, and depending upon the incarnation cycles and the levels of consciousness of each individual twin flame, they may or may not be able to come together. The energy is either drawing them in a powerful way or pushing them away. Although this again is quite rare on the planet, although at this time there are a lot more of these twin flame incarnations on the planet than there ever has been. For in the positive manifestation of these souls coming together, the vibration of the planet will also come and rise as their energy does. So once again, this comes back to discernment, to going beyond the mind, to realizing your own patterns and when to break them. For if we come back to the soulmate, that is all it is. Old friends or enemies that decide to keep incarnating together. And there is beauty in that. Don't let that take anything away from the idea of a soulmate. Oftentimes soulmates are from your soul family. There is a deep connection, one that goes beyond this planet. But it is very human to get caught up in the ideas about what love should be, what a couple should look like, what a soulmate should look like. The focus should be on divine partnership. Allow the free expression of the soul to bring about a love so powerful that existence is all they need. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Has that raised further questions?
Well, what if, like, you suddenly have a thought about someone, but then there's actually not really realistic ways of crossing paths at this point in life?
It is as it is. Many of you will have felt a soul's calling to another soul, but all will manifest when the time comes. It is the mind that feels this, that grasps it and goes, this is what I need, this is what I need for fulfillment. And until the mind stops doing that, these divine connections cannot happen. A good practice is to be humble and to truly breathe into the experience of feeling that connection without wanting anything else from it. That is when you know it is one of divine expression of the I am, wanting for nothing, purely enjoying the experience of connection, whether you have met the person or not. Does this answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Are there any other questions?
Yeah. So I posed the question on what you've just said about having a deep soul connection with someone that you've been reincarnating with, but coming to the point of recognizing when it's time to sever those ties or stop that reincarnation pattern because the behavioural patterns are not healthy anymore. How do you come to a place of being so connected but having to disconnect? How do you actually make that switch? How do you actually disconnect?
It's not a point of so much as disconnecting, as the soul will always leave their mark upon your soul. And as we are the all, we are all in a part of one another. Yes, we are experiencing life through different projections, but ultimately one must step outside of it and know that in the flow of all that you are, in the coming to your I am presence, it will just dissolve. There's no need for any kind of effort in breaking any kind of energetic barriers. If anything, that strengthens it. At times it is best to just allow the energy to dissolve, to gracefully bow out. And sometimes this will mean that you must physically remove yourself from that soul if in your deepest being you feel that is what is necessary. The trick here is to get out of the mind, because the mind is constantly trying to fulfill that need, as I spoke of earlier. When you're in the flow of the I am, you no longer need that person. There's no more wanting. You may still love them, but you also do not need that connection. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Ease and grace. Apply it to every aspect of your life. Are there any other questions?
You asked us to start the night with some breathing, and you've used the expression breathe into your experience several times tonight. Can you discuss the purpose of deep breathing and bringing your attention to the breath, and what you mean when you say breathe into your experience?
It is to get you out of your head, is the short answer. Humans breathe unconsciously, so to make them come to their breath and actually focus on it, it gets them out of their head and into their body. It brings them back to their feeling center. And in their feeling center, they have a better chance of actually connecting to the I am. The breath brings you to the now. Each in and out breath brings you to the present moment. To actually feel where you are, drops you out of your head and into being. I would like us to try an exercise, and that is to be completely present in the body. So let us start with our feet. Really notice your feet. If you're wearing shoes or socks, how do they feel on your foot? How does the ground feel beneath them? Is there pain? Feel into them. And now go deeper. Can you feel your energetic presence within your feet? And now let us do that with our legs. Become completely present about how your legs feel. Are they tired? Are they restless? Comfortable, uncomfortable? Can you feel your energetic presence within your legs? Now slowly go through each part of your body and experience this. Let us just take a moment and feel how our body is feeling and our presence within it. Now let us go around the room, starting with Jen. What did you notice?
Oh, it's getting really hot now.
See what happens when you anchor yourself?
Yes, it's very powerful. Something I have to learn to do more often.
Indeed. You're often out in the stratosphere. Most humans dwell in their mind. You're beyond that. You're floating between worlds a lot of the time.
But I like it.
But you must anchor those energies back into your body. For that way, you can manifest all those amazing good feelings into this realm, because this is what this realm sorely needs. You will find ecstasy in the presence of being grounded in your body in ways you do not even realize yet. Beyond any of your wanderings between the realms has ever brought you. Ground yourself back here. You'll know what I mean.
Yes.
And I know I have also been guilty of it in past incarnations. It is like a drug, it is addictive, but bring yourself back to your body and you'll know something even greater. Kat?
I feel really, really heavy, like I'm going to pass out, heavy. Like my head just wants to fall forward. I can also feel a lot of energy, vibration.
You've been ignoring your body of late. You need to rest more. And your body is heavy with all your thoughts. Thank you for sharing. And yours? to come to your body?
Tired.
Okay. Nicole?
Yeah, I did at first with the feet and the legs. Then I started thinking about the person I was thinking of when I asked the soulmate question. So then I started trying to breathe into it and feeling it. But then I kind of want to cry. So, yeah.
That's okay. There's some old energy there. It will settle. Robert?
I could easily feel the physicalness of my body, and then I could feel a sort of relaxing sensation as I breathed, and I felt like I could sort of feel, I guess, more around my body and sort of feel almost a dance of something going on around as I listened to the music.
Yes, you're very anchored in your body. You need to open out here, not the mind. Just allow your perception to open here. Julie?
My feet, I noticed my feet more. They're very heavy into the floor, and then when we went to the legs, they're very relaxed. But then I sort of got a pulsing through the bottom of my feet, and it was like what's pulling down. And I just feel really relaxed, like I'm a part of this couch. So
It's very soothing to the nervous system of the human body to be present and to be aware and in their body. The head, the mind is what causes the stress, but when you drop out of that, you realize that everything's actually okay. Renee?
I felt the texture of the pillow under my feet, which felt really good. It felt really nice not to have shoes on, and I felt really free to be in my own time and not be working or just doing anything, just to be in my own. And then I felt like pure white light sort of run through all my body, which is cleansing, and it felt good. I felt comfortable in my body. But I feel like that's been a new thing this year. I felt really comfortable. Happy to say that I love myself.
Good.
That's sounding love myself. It's a good feeling. Yeah. So yeah.
And that is the beauty of being present, grounded and centered in your body. For you lose all those preconceived ideas and programmings and worries that float around in your mind, because you actually come back to what is happening right now. And when you disconnect from the mind and come back to your body and your breath, you realize everything is okay. It's all okay. And then you actually are able to feel your own divine essence. And through that, you can actually feel the blessing it is to be here. And ecstasy can be brought forth in the smallest of things. The feeling of your clothing against your skin, the colors around you. You realize that you are rich and you stop wanting. So find that point when you find yourself getting so caught up in your head that you're living in a delusional land, as most humans do. They live in this self-created state of worry, of uncertainty. But once they drop out of that, they actually see the reality around them, and it is beautiful. They don't act out. They don't worry. And they just allow themselves and everyone else around them to be. And with that, I thank you for coming to this gathering. I am that I am, Saint Germain in service.